Awareness is our responsibility. So, throughout life, we may go to school, we may take classes, work a job, have to uh, deal with people, have to deal with family relationships, and if we create other relationships in our lives, friendships, romantic relationships, um, work partnerships, co-workers we have to deal with, you know, in order to succeed, it's important to build your awareness. And what I mean by that is to not only go into a situation with the tools that you brought with you, your tools of communication and listening and whatever tools you may have acquired throughout life, we bring that into every situation. It is our job to expand our awareness in such a way where we are prepared emotionally, mentally, and physically to learn new tools, to learn new strategies, and to be on the lookout for things that you may have been unaware of previously. What can happen all too much is that we go into a situation, it doesn't go exactly the way we plan, and then with little awareness or self-awareness too, um, if it doesn't go as planned, we play the victim. But the thing is that you can't expect other people to expand your awareness. We kind of get uh, a lot handed to us in life. We're taught how to be safe. We're taught what we should be aware of in order to stay safe. We're taught basic lessons and basic ideas in order to kind of fit in. And, what can happen is we can expect for everybody else in life to have that decency towards us and to fill us in on all that we need to know. Well, the truth is once you're an adult, or once you're not in a school type of situation, everybody's just trying to survive, and you're going to come across some helpful, kind people in life. But it's not going to be like you were when you were a kid, or at least how it was for most people when they were children. Now it's your responsibility to expand your own awareness, and if you don't, uh, then you can't play the victim in good faith. You can't, um, if every time a situation doesn't go the way that you expected it to go, and you resort and default to being the victim in that situation, you're closing your mind, and in turn, you're missing out on the expanded awareness that is there for the taking. You can notice when this happens when you feel yourself turning into the victim. If you're complaining a lot, if you're pointing fingers outwardly a lot, the more you point your finger outward, the more difficult it is to see what's going on inwardly. And it's just really important. Like when you got to realize too that you can't do this for somebody else, and what that means too is that somebody else can't do this for you. You'll come across plenty of people in life where they're stubborn, and they have a set way that things are supposed to be. They're coming at the situation with their predisposed toolbox, and if all they got is a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and they come across a situation where you need a Phillips head screwdriver, the right thing to do would be to become aware of where you went wrong, aware of the proper tool that needs to be used, and to improve yourself, and maybe go out and get that Phillips head screwdriver. The wrong thing to do in this analogy would be play the victim and to basically maybe call it quits with the job you were going to do and say, why didn't you guys use flathead screws? Now you're playing the victim because you didn't have the right tool for the right job. You're the one who got screwed over. You're the victim. No. What you realize is that some jobs require a flathead screwdriver and some jobs require a Phillips head screwdriver. That would be an expanding of your awareness of the reality of doing handiwork, or whatever this analogy applies to, right? The wrong thing to do would be to say, hey, you know what? Screw you. I'm not going to do any handiwork for anybody unless they use Phillips head screws, because that's just, that's what I know, and I'm an expert, and apparently they're not aware of the standard of having flathead screws. And that's what it is too. You project that the other person is the one that needs to do the awareness. You can really tell that this is happening when you're you feel yourself playing the victim, when you feel you're making a lot of when you're complaining a lot, right? And that those are two good indicators that this is that you're being closed-minded, but also on the flip side, this is an opportunity to expand your awareness. Now, this can happen with anything. It could be something that could be cultural. It could be, maybe you met somebody from another place and they do something different. You might not like that. You might complain about that. Well, there's a lack of awareness on your part, and the lack of your awareness and your inability to take responsibility for that in that moment is projected as that other person is doing something wrong or weird. You're the victim for having to endure such a strange behavior that is off-putting to you. But the other person is doing exactly what they would normally do, and you're the one who lacks the awareness, and it's your responsibility to become aware. It's not their responsibility to succumb to all of your norms, right? That would be very that would be very bossy and pushy and close-minded, to expect all of the people who you are unaware of their lifestyles to succumb and accommodate to what you feel is normal. So my point in this whole video is that awareness is your responsibility, and your responsibility alone. People are not going to sit there and force your eyelids open to be aware of something. Denial is very, very strong force, and you could be in denial about the sky being blue if you're stubborn enough. So if you notice that you're complaining a lot, if you notice that your mind is shutting down, if you notice that something is weird or uncomfortable for you, it's okay to have your boundaries. Some things are just maybe very, very bizarre just across the board, but I don't think that that's usually applicable. I think typically, most of the time, it's time to take responsibility and to expand your own awareness, and to mitigate that uncomfortable feeling that you have by actually growing to understand instead of denying whatever that thing is. So if you like this video, then please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe. If you have anything that you want to say, then please comment down below. If you know anybody who might like this, then please share it. And if you'd like to get notifications whenever I drop new content, then hit that little bell button. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.